to knock your 33010s, albums Name the Bands, Britney, Christina, Paris, and even parody movies with Anna Faris, we take you through the beginning of this century with Noughties Till Infinity. Catch us on the socials at 90s Till Show, on a radio station near you, and our Mixcloud. Search 90s Till Infinity and you'll find the new series.
Noughties Till Infinity.
Bloodstains the ground. BRL, son.
Peace, this is Nelson Dialect. You're tuned in to Beats, Rhymes, and Live.
This is ISB. You're listening to BRL.
Yo, this is Ray. You're listening to BRL.
What up? It's 360.
Yeah. This is Nick Loopy from One Day Spit Syndicate.
I'm Seth Century. You're on Beats, Rhymes, and Life, and I endorse this product.
Peace, family. This is El Fresh the Lion on Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Stay tuned. This is where hip-hop lives.
It is Beats, Rhymes, and Life. And now joining us on the phone is one of Tasmania and, well, really Australia's sort of leading hip-hop artists, and a guy that I've slept on for far too long. Look, I've been doing this show constantly for 10 years, and I've never had you on, and that's an embarrassing thing, which I'm about to correct now. So joining us on the program, we have Dunn D. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Thank you very much for getting me on, bro.
Absolutely. Now, it is a seminal question every interview that we do for a debut artist, Dundee. How do you take your coffee?
At the moment, just black, bro. Hey, but it's been a constant evolution, man. It used to be like fully white with probably 3 sugars, and then I'd cut out the sugars, and then the last kind of couple of years, I just got black coffee in the morning. It just charges me up, and I'm ready for my day, bro.
Just
so
vroom, vroom.
yeah, but also a bit of an addict for iced coffees as well, man. You know. Yeah, like I've never done heroin, but I've spent some money on iced coffees. So same diff, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I probably spent a small fortune on just general like coffee from a store, and then even with like a little coffee maker. And look, I'm the kind of sausage that will actually sit there and I froth my milk.
To get through life, you need a proper caffeine source. You know. Like,
absolutely,
it is essential.
Yeah, I'm frothing my milk and everything when I'm at home. Still got to do that barista's course that Mrs. bought me as well. But let's get to the tunes. And look, let's be honest. You are completely unique when it comes to Australian hip hop. There is nobody like you. Like there's no one doing your style. You're just somewhere over here. This is Dunn D, and basically anyone who sort of tries to do singing along or sing the sort of melodic raps that you do, playing guitar at the same time, producing tracks, etc., etc., etc. I'm like, you're trying to be Dundee. Like it's just you over here. Out of Tasmania, and I just, once again, I can't believe I haven't had you on yet before, which is absolutely insane. But this record Anthems just hit me in the darkest yet sweetest spot in my soul. Now I'm actually going to sort of explain how I first listened to this album, and I think you're going to sort of feel where I'm coming from. It's about 5-ish in the morning. It's a cool morning up in the Pilbara. I've thrown my headphones on. I've got my jacket on. It's bloody cold. I have to deal with my supervisor at work again today. Here we go again. And sit on the bus and I throw on Anthems and it just sits there and I'm just like, in a way, this guy knows exactly how I feel at this very point. Now, does this happen to you often where blokes of my age, I'm a 40-year-old man, and, you know, the working class guy, it seems like you sort of hit that mark as like a working class man doing hip-hop?
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't think it was ever like something that I tried to do. I think it was just a kind of, you know, natural progression for me, man. But I think part of that is, I've got a very eclectic music taste and influences from when I was growing up. You know, I've got like older brothers that were into, you know, one of my older brothers was in punk bands the whole time I was growing up. Older brothers that were into grunge and metal and stuff like that. And my old boy also ran a pub down here for like 20 years. So I was, you know, grew up in this place with live music every night, man. So yeah, man. I really fucking gravitate towards that old, you know, that pub rock sound, man. Like I love like a lot of that old school working class shit, man. So I think it's, yeah, without trying to, it's kind of naturally and organically taken that shape like that, man. So I think, you know, what I'm trying to do with a lot of it is kind of make timeless music in a way, bro. And I think that's why it kind of resonates with so many people, and especially so many people that have, you know, lived a bit of a life and got past it, and I guess, you know, I guess it's like we're all kind of soldiers in this shit together, you know.
Yeah, you know what, and I think that's why Anthems hit me the way it did, because there's a lot of stuff on there that you just sort of like. If I was 25 and I listened to this record, it wouldn't hit me at all because I was in a completely different place, just nowhere near it. Yeah, sort of now that I don't know, a bit older, a bit more experienced, and like a lot of the stuff you talk about on this record, including, you know, the family issues, all that kind of stuff. I've got different situations in that regard. You know, nothing like yours. It's on the record. You know, you've talked about the struggles in that regard, but you know, that kind of thing, and it just hits at a certain level. And I think this is, you know, it's grown man hip hop. And
nah, for sure, bro, for sure. I think that's definitely true, man. I think the demographics probably, you know, it is a bit older, man. And I think as, you know, our music tastes change, bro, you know, depending on what our personality is doing and the stuff we're doing. And I know, you know, I grew up in the, you know, like the late 90s, early 2000s. So there was a lot of that like real angsty music going on. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, I'm just trying to, at the end of the day, I'm making the music that I want to make, bro. I've never ever fucking chased like what's popping at the moment, you know what I mean? Like I've said it before, but no one was sitting back 2 years ago going, do you know what's fucking got to pop off? Like acoustic, country, hip hop, you know, no one was saying that shit. It's just like, it's just a natural organic thing that happens for me, man. And, it's just, I don't know, it's beautiful that so many people can relate to it, man. But I feel like, yeah, when you're younger, like, you know, I'm sure I was into a lot more aggressive music, man. And there's a lot of shit that I fucking slept on when I was younger that I can now listen to as a grown man and be like, man, I was sleeping. That's actually hitting my soul right now. So I feel like, yeah, it's a very, very much a coming of age and, you know, and just dealing with the life stuff that everyone goes through, man. Because at the end of the day, I've been rapping for a long time, bro. But it's like, it's never like fully popped off for me, where, you know what I mean? So I've just been living the same life for a long time. So I think that's, you know, I just deal with the same struggles that most people go through in this day and age, bro. And that's why it translates.
That just, yeah, you just, in one. With that one, it's like three separate questions in one. You just ticked off there. Now, I want to talk about the Tasmanian hip hop thing. Coming from a far-flung state, Perth, Western Australia, we got our thing over here. You've been over here. I'm sure you've been over here.
I haven't, bro. I haven't come to that.
No,
it's like I was meant to come for a battle and certain gigs, and it's just always fallen through. So I'm like this week in the process of starting to sort out a bit of a national tour. So I definitely will be heading WA by the end of the year. So go on, bro.
Oh no, because it just the Tassie hip hop thing seems to be its own thing. Yourself, Greeley, Lockie Hamill, Wombat, etc. You guys kind of have a different sound down there. Just like we do over here. And
I think there's a lot of similarities to WA, and why WA and Tassie have always had this such strong relationship is because it's very similar. We're like kind of cut off from the rest of Australia in a bit, and we're not in conversations about Australia where most of the time we're left out. So we've just had to do our own fucking thing, man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I guess, yeah, there was always a local crew down here doing it in Tassie as I was coming up, but we just never had anyone that had taken it to that level that had gone interstate and made a name for themselves. You know what I mean? We had like Medusa and Danger back in the day did a few things, but you know, not to the level of really putting themselves out there. So it just kind of it got to a point where people like myself and Greeley, it's like, you know, fucking. We didn't have that platform, so like we're going to build our own fucking platform, and that's just how we started doing it. We started, you know, touring the country, you know, just flying around the country doing battles and gigs and shit like that, and we just made a fucking name for ourselves, man. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch it turn into what it has now. Where, you know, there's so much depth in the Tassie scene, and you know, when I was first coming up, man, you know, I'm fucking 38 now, bro. I've been rapping since like 2001, 2002.
Yep.
But I think I went to Melbourne in like maybe 2004. I was probably about 18. Like, lived over there for a little bit, and just like back then, telling people you're a rapper and then telling people you were from Tassie was a different thing, man. People would like laugh, like, oh yeah, righto. There's a scene in Tassie, isn't there, righto? Where it's like now, man, it's like it's beautiful, bro. Like we're a force to be reckoned with, you know. So it's fucking awesome to see, you know, to see Wombat coming up and doing his thing. Like it's beautiful, bro. It's fucking beautiful, you know. And it's same as WA, because we're from that place that's like we're left out of a lot of conversations, man. We have a lot of pride in where we come from and the scene that we fucking rep, bro.
Absolutely. Like, and Perth had sort of already at least had a sort of moments in the early 2000s. I feel like,
yeah, man, yeah.
But I feel like, it took until the sort of mid 2010s for anyone to sort of realize, and this is me, by the way, so I probably missed it by a few years because I sort of came back into this about 2014. But yeah, it was really essentially like yourself and Greeley leading from the front there for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, man, for a very long time. You know, me and Greeley were mates back in the day down here, and it just so happened that we kind of, I don't know, we were chasing that shit at the same time. And for us, the platform to do that through and get the most amount of recognition was through battle rap, bro. And a few other dudes from down here kind of tried it, but just didn't really succeed the way that me and Grills did, man. So yeah.
Yes, so shouts to Tassie. And by the way, we used to play down there as well before we left the community radio network. We were in Launceston for about a year or so, and then we had our separation.
But I think like we've had connects to WA since back in the day, bro. See, we had High Five, who was from Syllabolic's crew, man. He was living down here when I was like 17, 18, bro.
Oh wow.
So he was repping SBX at the local battle nights that I was going to when I was 17, 18, bro. And then, the connections we've had with, Psych Ward, with Complete and all the boys. Like, it's just been I don't know, there's always, we're brothers in arms, like fucking Tassie and WA. And I've always felt a real strong connection, which is fucking crazy that I haven't been over there yet. So I'm really looking forward to getting over there and doing a show.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to talk about sort of tours and such later on, but you sort of let the cat out the bag a little bit. That there are some plans for that, and I'm sure you will, sort of announce those in due course. So the record Anthems itself. Now, how long did it sort of take for you to go from go to woe on this? Because it seems like it's completely built from the ground up. You've done everything on this.
So it was. I think it would have started. I feel like the early stages of Anthems were probably when I released "Pull Your Head In, Mate."
Yes,
which was end of 2022. So I didn't have the concept for the album or anything like that. But I dropped that one, and towards the end of 2022, I recorded a couple of tracks, and they were just on that similar real big sing along. Hook shit. And I think that's when it came to me, and I was like, all right, Anthems is going to be the vibe that I'm going to. But it took basically the majority of 2023 to kind of write it and record it. But pretty organically, you know what I mean? Like I'm a father, I've got a daughter a lot of the time,
yes.
At work. So yeah, we did it pretty cruisy, and then it got to this year, we just started putting some deadlines on ourselves and got it all finished up. But it was about a 18-month period, I reckon, from when it started to when we got the actual release out.
So yeah, it just and it seems like even if it's chill, it seems very sort of labor of love. Like the amount of layers that I heard like the second time listening to it in full this morning, just sort of walking around. I'm like, wow, there's like melodies and like several layers on this thing. You know, as you say, you're not really going along with the vibe of Australian hip hop, and there seems to be like sort of three veins where we're going genre wise, and you've gone in none of those, which is fantastic. But I'm like, there's melodies in this.
Well, I think a lot of the stuff with, I think for me, where I get the melodies and the harmonies and all that from is from my older brother, man. So I've got my brother Anton, who's like 18 months older than me. Can rap his ass off as well, man. He was in a hip hop band with me when we were like in kind of high school, college. But that whole time he was playing in like punk bands, man. He's a guitar player and singer. And that dude, like, he can write a fucking melody, bro. So I think most of what I get from doing my melodies and my harmonies, man, is I studied my older brother and I've just fucking, used it my own way. But I still do music with him, man. Like, he's playing drums in my band at the moment when I'm doing live shows and stuff.
Oh, right.
But yeah, for me, hip hop's always been, I've always, I've loved hip hop since a young age, but there's still a lot of influences for me that go into it. And just for me, melody, not just melody, but melody and the emotion attached to certain melodies is such a big thing with me for the music that I'm writing at this current stage.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, in that regard, like, this thought just came to me. Would you ever consider sort of doing like a almost a folky country album without the raps?
Yeah, quite possibly, man. I've got I do want to do. For a little while, I've been just on my own channel, just randomly putting out covers, like acoustic covers of kind of pretty classic Australian hip hop tracks.
Oh, right.
Which is
That's right. I've seen this. That's right. I've seen this.
That's how I first linked up with Brad Strutt. Actually, I did a cover of a press release, and that's how we kind of got in touch through that. But I think at some stage, I definitely want to record like an acoustic Aussie hip hop covers album for sure.
That would be cool. I would love to hear you.
That's definitely something I want to put energy into. But then, as far as the next release for an album, like, I'm not 100% sure where it's going to go yet, but I feel like it's going to go back to a bit more rapping old school roots for me, the next album. But who knows? That'll be a little while away before I'm working on anything for the next album. But yeah.
Absolutely. So tours are coming, and when you drop the announcement, we'll drop the announcement on our end as well.
Yeah,
we'll
it should. Like, it's all kind of. I'm starting to get a few things together at the moment, but I'll be looking around kind of September to December doing some shows. So for myself, like, I can only do every kind of second weekend if I am touring.
Yes.
I've got my daughter.
Yep, 100%.
So it's kind of broken up a little bit, which is good for me, man, because tour life when you get to my age fucking takes it out of you, bro. So having it spread out is a lot nicer, a lot easier.
Absolutely. So, we'll announce those, when they're announced. And the record Anthems, if you have not heard this yet, go and listen to it. It is a fantastic record. It's one of my favorites of 2024. And Dunn D, it's been a pleasure to talk to you on BRL.
Pleasure's mine, man. Thank you so much for having me on, Gav. Appreciate it, brother.
Dropping EDM, hip-hop, and a bunch of best beats programs around. If you want bangers, you'll be in the right place with Tune One. Tune1.com.au. That's tune1.com.au. Tune One, proud show sponsor.